is here today. Please, Mulak, can you introduce yourself? Tell us about yourself, man. How is it going?
Yeah, it's going well, Nico. Pleased to be on your program today. And yeah, it's been a while, but listen, it's been very challenging few years, I have to say. But we are doing okay now. Well, in terms of my background, I am Mulugeta Asgedom, originally from Eritrea. I was born and grew in Eritrea and left my country due to political instability, which was not easy. Fleeing your country because of circumstances beyond your control is very challenging. And I left Eritrea and have gone through countries and a lot of challenges, but I was lucky enough to make it to the UK safely in 2007, basically. And then from that, arriving in the UK, claiming asylum seeker, and I was lucky to get my asylum case sorted in a very short period of time.
Well, yeah, that's really good news because normally people wait a long time. I like it when you said you left your country for political reasons. I just want to ask because UK always been telling other countries about human rights. I just wanted to touch. What do you think about the human rights in this country? Do they really preach what they preach? I mean, do they really do what they say in other countries, or in terms of the way the refugees and asylum seekers are treated in your own experience as well?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, like if you compare the UK with other countries, definitely I would say it's much better. But specifically, the way the Home Office works and how they treat asylum seekers and refugees, I have to admit, it is very, I would say, not fair at all. The system should improve somehow, and I guess I was lucky. Some people stay in this process for years and years, which is a waste of time and potential for many people instead of giving them the opportunity to work and contribute to the society. So definitely the immigration system of the UK has to improve
Yep.
somehow going forward.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, same like me. I'm on the same. So all like most of us Africans, especially in Glasgow, all asylum seekers, refugees, and stuff like that. So I know I'm still in that process, but it's kind of like it's a mindset. And I mean, like I don't know. I think you're right. UK has got maybe a better, a safe place to be. First of
Mm-hmm.
all, compared to other countries, because other countries they got very poor resources but not treatment. So that's a difference between human rights and then having no resources. So, but today this show is about you, man. And I want you to just go crazy. Tell us about your ambitions, your dreams, what you're doing, what you wish for this special for refugees and stuff.
Well, thank you, Nico. I would like to touch my challenges and my uh, possibly the challenge in the few years in the UK. I guess my story is similar to any or to many people who come to the UK from different parts of the world as an asylum seeker, as refugees. I think it's obvious we face challenges because we came from a different background, different mindset or values and tradition, and it takes time to adjust into the new way of life in the UK, to understand the system. And for me, it was very challenging. The first 18 months were extremely challenging. Somehow, I I could not figure out, let's say, what to do with my life. So I was a bit confused between torn apart between I need to go to college and study. That education is my passion and my main goal. But again, life happens. There was a lot of pressure from back home, from family members and friends. So a few months I'm working, the next few months I'm in the UK, I'm in college. So that was overwhelming, confusing. Eventually, I felt like I need to focus on education. I decided to make my education my main goal. That was a big turning point for me. And of course, I was in the UK for a few maybe like nearly 2 years, but I moved to Scotland simply for to pursue my education, uh, and then that was, like I said, a big positive step to the right direction when I decided to go to college, and the rest is history. Of course, it was a long journey, challenging time, but that decision, like that, having that clarity what to do, that was a big thing for me.
That's really important because see most of the people I talk to, even myself, for example, when I arrived in UK, I arrived earlier than you, but
Mhm.
because as you said, the culture differences and with that informed, you end up go under the radar. Just like you don't go to the right places to get informed to how to go to apply these things, and then we end up they're calling us limbos. You know what I mean? And but yeah, education in Scotland really helps. That's where we met, by the way. So
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
yeah, so you had a good jobs in Scotland. We're working with other projects, work with Asylum Seekers and refugees.
Mhm.
Because I always got this question for every speaker comes here, like, what do you think about projects themselves and charities when working with these invulnerable people like with Asylum Seekers? Do you think they really mean to help, or they just do it because of the job? Or I don't know. This is if that question was sent to me, I'll answer it. But I think I've been actually struggling to find if it is a competition or is it
Mhm.
really helping and stuff like that. I'm still puzzled. I don't get the balance on that. Maybe someone like yourself, because you've been working on these charities and projects, maybe you see different.
Mhm. It's a bit tricky, but from experience, my understanding is, I guess, all or many charities, community-based organization, their intention is to help people, and but somehow, whether it's bureaucracy or other like challenges behind the scene, they might not deliver what they said they will provide. For example, as service providers, there is always like a gap in terms of uh, delivering the necessary service for the local people.
Yeah.
And like I say, sometimes when I think back in Glasgow, for example, there were community-based organization to do with housing, employment agencies. They were doing great, but there was some like austerity came on, funding cut off, and all sorts of issues. But like I said, there are a lot of challenges behind the scene. But from experience and working closely with some of those charities, they do their best, but it does not mean they meet all the needs of the people they try to help.
Oh, that sound good. I'll disagree a bit with that because I'm also been part of them. I'm still in Glasgow, and I've been in so many meetings, and I see two faces in one person, which means, well, I don't want to start pointing fingers. That's a little bit negative. Let's get to positive side. The positive side is I think there's a need for communication between service users and the service providers. Very
Yeah.
proper one, not only because they see me as a victim. I want them
Mhm.
to see me as somebody who's part of the community too. You know what I mean? Like, because I bump to them, I go out sometimes. They're like, oh, we don't talk to service users when we're out. I'm out of work. So basically, when you're out of work, you bump to a service user, is no longer a human being to you. You can't talk to them because this is, you know what I mean? I was like, this is, I understand. What's the secret? Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to discuss my case. We're having a beer or some tea or something like that. So that's why I'm trying to make a quick example. Like, I know there's rules and policies in every company or project,
Correct.
but come on, people need to come. We need to have that dialogue between the people who helping us instead of seeing us as help. What's called the people of need. Did you ever come across that when you're working with a project like, oh, I can't talk to Nico today because I'm out of the office? I'm not, just an example.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, we are all human, Nico. And but once again, organizations have got like their rules and expectation of staff, whatever you call them, that ethos, and in some situation, it can be difficult for workers or staff to not to go beyond, to cross the boundaries, whatever they call it, professional boundaries. But I was lucky enough to work with a few organizations who are community driven, like we workers, residents or service users, we all see each other as equal partners. So we cooperate this, like everyone has got something to contribute. And when it's service user driven service, it goes far in terms of sustainability, because it's the voice of the residents have been heard, and they know we call them in community development, the local people are the expert.
Yeah.
They know better. They live the day-to-day challenges. They know more than anybody who is like a policymaker or the management at the top. So I think that's very vital point you raised there, because there has to be a way of involving people like service users, or call them residents. They have to take part in decision making. In that way, the projects or organization can be sustainable and effective.
Yeah, I think the point you're right. The point I was making as well, I just came up to my mind, is build confidence of these people instead of see them as victims. So it's if they see asylum seekers and refugees every day as victims, you're not actually building the confidence on these people. You're just just pointing to a burnt house. So my argument is not an argument. I always talk. This is what I like about this platform, this podcast, goes. It was made for asylum seekers and refugees to speak and the voice. Even the service, I have few service providers came to the podcast, and they got really nice. They talk exactly what you said. But for me, my job is to push further. I want this thing to happen. I want people to hear this, because, stop looking at us as victims. We are here now. It's free. We need freedom. We need to be like you. I mean, like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to just come quickly, because you're supposed to be talking more than me. And I was just thinking about this new thing about COVID. They're asking us to have COVID passport. I'm thinking, you didn't give me the right passport. You can't give me a human right passport, but you give me a medical passport. That's an insult to people. So, yeah, that one I'll just leave it for the next time. But I think you can... in your own opinion, like, I know now you moved to London. I don't know what the situation is in London when it comes to asylum seekers and refugees.
Again, the COVID thing is it's a bit difficult. Like, it can be our personal viewpoint about it, but again, you just make sure you follow the safety guidelines, at least to prevent yourself and to the people around you. But it's a bit complicated, and I would rather leave it for next session.
I think we've done well. But before we go, Mula, I just wanted to maybe say something about. I know you got some plans, like to be a public speaker. I come across to some ideas you have now to start maybe giving some talks and stuff like that. So I want people to know that not when and how, but just like maybe just give it like a little bit of an idea.
Maybe I would like to touch another point which might be relevant or useful for listeners, and this is general, like for asylum seekers or general public, I guess, in the UK or outside. But As an asylum seeker or refugee, when we come to the UK from Africa, from Middle East, from whatever part, um, once you understand there are the opportunities and you know what is your priority. Let's say when I say I struggled like for some time, it is simply because I was a bit confused and I couldn't figure out what am I going to do going forward. So just to maybe people who are coming to the UK like recently, I just want to highlight that. And trust me, there are opportunities. The UK is probably, I will always say, there are a lot of opportunities if you have got the right mindset. It doesn't mean there are no challenges or problems, but once we understand and realize the opportunities, whether it's to do with education or the job market, there are opportunities, but it depends how we see them. So when I decided to go to college, I didn't know the support that I get from the college. For example, in Glasgow, it's called John Wetley. I'll never forget my experience in that college, because again, I'm thinking about the incredible staff who supported me and encouraged me all the way. But there was support as well. I didn't know until I get there that there was like a bursary, you can get some funding. They just make life easy for me, which I didn't realize before. So you have to take that move, you have to make a move. You have to test the water. That's my kind of like experience and the positives that I took from my journey. We have to explore. We have to find out in our local area opportunities, expand our network with local people, generally with the people. And from that college, I managed to complete the one-year program at John Wetley College, and encouraged by my teachers, I went on to study at Glasgow Uni, which is a big thing. And once again, the tutors or my teachers at Glasgow Uni were incredible. They supported me again, and because of that, I managed to complete my degree program, and I will always be grateful for the support and the encouragement that I got from my journey in the uni and the college. So that's something I would like to get across to someone who is maybe contemplating about going to college or to uni. Listen, I want to say go for it. And it's all about getting started. And you never know what's around the corner.
Yeah, that's really powerful, man. That's that's the one. That's all I can say, man, for today. So maybe Mula will come back next week. We don't know yet, but I'll keep you posted, guys. So this is the end of episode 1. Me and Mula get out. So we'll be back. We'll be chatting. So yeah, I'll get some more details. So thank you so much, Mula, for coming here.
All right. All the best.